welcome to Friday Nights with Emma. How is everybody? It's a bit warm again tonight, isn't it? It started off a bit dicey and now it got warmer and now it's just, I think it's just muggy. But anyway, no fans needed tonight, at least, so you should be able to hear me better. Mikey's back on cameras today, so Kaylee's back home now, so everybody say hi to Mikey. We'll give everybody a minute or two to join. Just give us a little heart, a little thumbs up to let us know you're there.
Your mum.
Oh, hello, Mum.
Kathleen.
Hi, Kathleen.
Annette.
Hi, Annette.
Barbara.
Hi, Barbara.
Christina.
Hi, Christina.
Sharon.
Hi, Sharon.
Sandy.
Hi, Sandy. Okay.
Debbie.
Hi, Debbie. Right. So we've got a few things to show you tonight. I got some new fabrics in this week, finally. So, as with everything else, our suppliers, their deliveries have been delayed because their suppliers' warehouses were closed.
Dawn, Lorraine, Caroline,
hi, Dawn. Hi, Lorraine. Hi,
Hannah
Caroline.
Lore
Hi,
are
Lorcan.
watching. Annette is watching.
Oh, hi, Annette. Right,
Barbara.
Hi, Barbara.
Belinda.
Hi, Belinda.
Judy.
First one I'll show you, this was a request.
Sharon. Cheryl.
So I got another
Diamond.
paneling. Oh, hi, Shirley. Got a lovely rooster panel in, so the same linens, but a lovely rooster, or cockerel, whatever you want to call him.
Margaret. Paula.
So I have those in. $2.50, same as all the other ones. Same lovely linen.
Jackie.
Oh,
Kate.
hi, Jackie. Hi, Kate. And then I got these, which inspired me for tonight's demo. So all of these lovely... Oh, Monty.
Carol.
Hi, Carol. Summery fabrics, which I had forgotten I ordered, which I always do.
Terry.
And then they came in.
And
Hi, Terry.
Terry with an I are watching.
Hi, Terry. Hi, Terry.
Gail.
Hi, Gail.
Jeanette.
Hi, Jeanette. Yeah, so all of these came in, all summery, lovely. They just remind me of 1950s kitchen, maybe apron. I love them. I love the cherries, I love the blue, I love the yellow, all of it. But as you can see, I've got 3 coordinating stripes in here.
Susan is watching.
Oh, hi, Susan.
Sarah is watching.
Oh, hi, Sarah. And somebody did ask, I think when I did borders a couple of weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago, about mitered corners. Now, I never do mitered corners on borders usually, except when I've got a stripe. And then it can be really effective. So this is just a 6-inch square of the yellow, and I've taken the red stripe and I've cut it. So I've just had a stripe of the red in the middle and done mitered corners all around the edge. So that's my mitered corner. It's essentially a Y seam. Well, that's not very pressed very well. Sorry. Yeah, so it's basically a Y seam.
Jeanette says she has some of that material, used some of it for face masks.
Oh, yeah, it's lovely, isn't it? It's really nice.
Carol is watching.
Oh, hi, Carol. Oh, that one's pressed a little bit better. See, I did a bit of job on that one. So I do press the seams open because it does reduce the bulk a little bit on the Ys. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to show you tonight, is mitered corners. And then, which we should have time, once I've done one of these blocks, is I got some more fabric in, which is a little bit hard to see here, but it is. This is another one of those fabrics that the design runs selvage to selvage, a little bit like an attic window. So it's different at the bottom than it is at the top. I'll have to finish this and post a picture next week when it's done so you can get a better idea of it. But this is going to be my bottom. And there's a Y seam there, mitered corner. That's going to be here. I've got 4. Rather than doing 3 by 4, I'm doing 4 by 4. Did a whole metre of this.
Les says hi.
Oh, hi, Les. So if I move these out of the way, I've numbered them all, so I shouldn't get into trouble later on. There, and you can see as it goes up, the flowers get a little bit less dense. I just thought it'd be really pretty, like
Debbie
garden
is watching.
scene. Oh, hi, Debbie. Let's see, 12, 13, 14, next one. So there. So on this strip, you can see, maybe, that's how the design runs. So it's quite dense flowers, and it's imitation embroidery. So I don't know if you can get a close up of that, Michael, but it's to look like embroidery. It's called Embroidered Elegance. I had thought I would actually use it. It would be really nice to use as a skirt, bottom of a skirt, because it's got the border. It's almost like a border fabric. But yeah, so I'll have to finish that and post a picture next week. But I will show you a Y seam on that as well. So that side for now. Oh, but then wow, I can really go to town. This is the stripe that I've got that goes with that. Now this would look gorgeous as a border, and with a mitered corner on a quilt. So
Jane is watching. Jeanette
hi,
and Paula say lovely fabric.
Yeah, I love this one.
Susan is watching.
It's very folksy, very.
Barbara says fabulous fabric.
I love that one. Anyway, okay, right, down to the brass tacks. Mitered corners. So this is the way I do them. So I'm starting off with this simple block. I've just got a 6-inch square. Now I think this is probably a good way of practicing mitered corners, because you've got to do quite a few, and your border strip isn't very wide. So this would be a really good way of practicing doing this.
Joanne and Maureen are watching.
Oh, hi Joanne, hi Maureen. So I've got my handy dandy 8-inch by 1/2 inch ruler, and I've designed it so it has that 1/4 inch on the corner. Either way, it's just that 1/4 inch right there. So I'm going to, I want to put a dot 1/4 inch up and 1/4 inch in. So basically to mark 1/4 inch all the way around. So I've got a friction pen, or you can use a pencil as well, works pretty well. I just put a dot there just to mark that corner, because I don't want to sew over the edges. There we go, just like that. So put a dot on each corner that you're going to have a Y seam.
Carol says she loves that ruler, uses it all the time.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I love this. It's so handy. Yeah, I think it's fab. There we go. So I'm not going to sew past that edge, and what I mean by not sewing past the edge, if I show you this one.
Joanne says she's ordered the rulers today.
Oh yeah, oh yes, it's in the mail. It's in the mail to you, so you should have it. Maybe if not tomorrow, then Monday, Tuesday for sure. If I show you this corner, you can see how my stitching is stopped at that dot. So I haven't gone past that dot, and you can do a little back stitch or a little lock stitch right there. But your goal to have a successful Y seam is you don't want your seams to overlap, your stitches rather, to overlap in any way on this corner. You want them to just about meet there, basically. And I'll show you, because you're going to have a hint of a gap between the two when you put this together. The Y part gets sewn secondarily. So I've got that marked. These are my strips. Now I've cut my strips.
Lorraine is watching.
Oh, hi Lorraine. To figure out how long they need to be, and I've cut these maybe slightly longer, you want the length of your square, or if you're doing it on a quilt or whatever, so that you want to have it the width of whatever you're attaching it to, plus 2 times the width of your strip.
Christina says hi from Glasgow.
Oh, hi Christina. So that's the width of your strip, width of your square rather.
Beverly is watching.
Oh, hi Beverly. Plus 2 times the width of your strip. By the width I mean from here to here. Here's my ruler. So this would be, it's about 1 3/4 ish, or maybe just over 1 1/2. So I'd probably say, what was that? Can't see. Yeah, 1 3/4. So that would be 3.5. So this is 6, that'd be 9.5. And then you add an inch for look, basically. So you'd want it to be about 10.5 long, all of them, because you want them to overlap both ends. So I'm going to do my usual trick of, I want to center this on my square, so I'm going to fold it in half, press a little seam in the middle there, do the same on my square, match those up, there, here we go. I'm just going to put a pin in just to hold it in place, basically. Right, now I'm going to start sewing at the dot, and again, if you've got a lock stitch, do a little lock stitch and then continue, or go a couple of stitches down, back to a couple of stitches just to lock it in, basically. So mine doesn't have a lock stitch, it's on the right one. Yeah, so I've centered my dot right in the middle of my hole, so I can, let me just fuss that. I'm going to move my needle over a little bit. There we go. That's a bit more accurate. There. Find my foot. Hold my threads. Go back a little bit. No, not that one. Undo that one. That one's a little bit too far. Caught it in time so I can just lift it up and it undoes that stitch. There we go. Okay. I've got my 1/4 inch seam allowances per usual. There's my jack. And I'm going to stop right here on this dot. It would be handy if I had a clear 1/4 inch foot, but I don't. But you can kind of see it. I've got one more stitch. There we go. And back. There we go.
Mandy is watching.
Oh, hi Mandy. There, so just like that. So you don't want to go all the way to the ends. Now we're going to repeat that on this side. And you don't have to use stripy fabric for this, although if you are going to use a stripy fabric for a border, mitered corners are the best. But you could actually just do a border of strips sewn together, so it's kind of stripy, and do the same principle. There we go. White threads. So again, haven't sewn all the way to the ends. Last two.
Karen is watching.
Oh, hi Karen.
And Penny is sitting in her caravan by the lake stitching. Always nice to see what you're creating.
Which lake?
It does not say. Undisclosed location.
Undisclosed location. Ah, being covert. That's good. Covert's okay. find them. There we are. There we go.
Penny says it's a lake in Northamptonshire, so
Oh.
not that far.
Not that far from us. More. Alright, so now that I've got two next to each other, I can show you what I mean. That one's a little bit gappy. Okay, so I can show you. I'm going to have to add another stitch on there. I'm trying to use a darker thread. You can see this stitching ends here. This stitching ends here. I need to do one more, literally one more stitch to fill in that gap because this gap is too big. Let's see what this one's like. That one might be similar problem. Oh, it's not so bad. It's kind of even. It doesn't go quite to the corner, but it is more even. So you do have a gap, which is better. That's more of like half stitch gap. That's better than this one. That was quite gappy. Okay. So.
Tony is watching.
Who?
Tony.
Oh, hi, Tony. Right. So I'm going to do literally one stitch. Back it up a bit, back it up a bit. There. This is why I don't do mitered corners very often, because they are a bit faffy. But the effect is nice. See, that's much better. It's a much closer gap. That's what you kind of aim for. You want to have a little bit of a tiny bit of a gap, because you want it to be able to ease in there.
Maureen is watching.
So let me finish this side quickly, and then we'll get on to the business end. Oh, hi, Maureen. Oh, we've got plenty of time. It's only 1:15. Go. Put that in there. Move that out of the way.
Amanda is watching.
Oh, hi, Amanda. There we go. There we go. That's closer, that's better. So you can see that's good and touching each other right at the end. So let's have a look at this. Yeah, not as much of a gap. And that one is good as well. It's... So there we are. So now what do we do? There's my pen. Actually, I'm going to move on the other side so you can see what I'm doing better. Because I'm going to need a ruler with a 45-degree angle from this bit. Let's move all my bits out of the way. So I'm going to use my friction pen for this part. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this in half. It's right at the corner there. Right, fold it in half, just like, kind of like a handkerchief, I guess, on the diagonal. And then I'm going to use my my poor broken ruler, and I'm going to use my 45-degree angle. And I'm going to line this up. I'm lining up. Make sure that's all straight and good. Move it over. Right, so I'm lining the angle, the edge of my ruler, up with the stitching, where the stitching ends, so my dot basically, and then my 45-degree angle line, I am lining it up with the bottom of that border strip, of that stripy strip. And then I'm just going to draw straight across like that. And, oh, where's my pins? Just put a pin on the edge here, just to keep those two together from shifting. Get rid of some of this mess. I had a better pair of scissors somewhere. There we go. Just like that. Put another pin in it because I'm going to be moving it around, so. There. And then we can do this side, same way. Just folding that in half. Make sure everything's lined up. That strip is lined up with that strip. Just like that. 45-degree angle against the bottom of that strip. That against the dot. Just like that. And then pins. Go. 45-degree angle. Like that. Pin. Pin. Last one. Fold it in half. Like that. 45-degree angle. Oh, that's a bit messy. I can't really see where my stitching ends. There. 45-degree angle. There. There we go. Right, now we can stitch them all together. Okay. I'm actually going to change my foot so I can actually see a little bit better. Where's my... There we go. Because I don't need a 1/4 inch foot for this bit. I'm just going to put my other foot on that I can see. If I show you, you can see all the way through.
Christine asked if we saw the program on Bob Ross.
Oh yes, we did. Annette recommended it. Yeah, we watched it last night.
Yes.
It was really good. It was really interesting. Stuff I didn't know about Bob Ross. I didn't realise he died so young. I knew he'd passed away tragically, but not so young.
Bob is still with us.
He is, definitely.
He's sort of like Elvis. He's not really dead.
He's not really dead. So now I'm just going to stitch straight across that line. Again, I'm going to start where my other stitching ends, so I don't go all the way across, because you want to leave that corner free, basically. There we go. Move that out of the way. So just directly onto that line. Right, I'm going to trim that, but before you trim it, open it up and see how that's looking. So that's what it should look like. Shouldn't have any puckers. Just like that. We'll press it down in a bit. Jenny is watching. Oh, hi Jenny. I'm going to be naughty. I'm going to, fingers out of the way. Just going to trim that across like that. Cut that little dog ear off. Yeah, and when we press it, we'll press it like I did before. Press this open, just like that. And then that over it. That seems to sit the flattest when it's like that. So that's one. 3 more to go. So I have marked that all the way across, but I don't want to sew that all the way across. Make sure it's all lined up. So again, I'm just sewing. I'm going to put my needle in right there where Jack is. It's a little bit in front of where I want to go, but that's okay because I can do a little back stitch back. Hold my threads.
Penny said her husband painted her a lockdown birthday seascape inspired by Bob Ross.
Oh, lovely. We keep saying we're going to try it, but we haven't yet. I just like to watch him, to be honest with you. And for those of you who don't know who Bob Ross is, you really need to have a look. His documentary, the documentary about Bob Ross on BBC4 is on Catch Up, so it's on the BBC Catch Up app.
And I think those with Netflix, Bob Ross is on Netflix too.
Yes, Bob Ross is on Netflix, so you can actually see him in
YouTube
action.
or anything like that.
Yeah. But what he does is magic in half an hour. Put the needle up. Right, and again, I wouldn't trim that until I know I'm happy with it. So, if you find you've got puckers here, it'll be because it hasn't been stitched or something is, the stitches are overlapping in the back somehow. So that's why I quite like doing the backwards and forward stitching, so the back stitching, because you can take out a stitch or two in the middle bit and it's not going to affect because you've got more back stitching to keep it in place. But it's all looking pretty good so far. Quite chuffed for that.
Jeanette says she always watches Bob Ross, has his books and paints.
Oh, nice.
Phthalo green.
Yes.
Titanium white.
Titanium white. Yeah.
Penny says, Bob may take half an hour. My husband just said it took him 5 days.
Oh.
And then Annette says, the Bob Ross hair fact made her giggle.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't know that. I wonder how many people will take up his style during lockdown, because we haven't been able to have haircuts. Just perm it. Do men get perms anymore?
No, I think that was
a thing.
70s.
80s. That was an 80s thing. I remember men getting perms. I remember boys.
I don't have to worry about it.
No.
I have the Jean-Luc Picard haircut.
Yes, you do. Perfect. So I'm just going to trim these off now. It does get a bit messy because you do have quite, well, probably if you're an untidy sewer like me, it gets messy, but I'm sure you guys are much neater and trim all your tails off when they need to be trimmed. There we go. One more. What a mess. There we go. Right, now, what I found was easier was to do my sides first. So press the sides first. Lock those stitches in place. There we go.
Joan is watching.
Oh, hi Joan. And then carefully press those out. Go, and then what's that?
Jenny is watching.
Oh, hi Jenny. And then press
Joan
this.
apologizes for being late, but catch up
Aw.
that's what catch-up's for.
Mhm. Yeah. No worries, Joan. We've just been whittling on about Bob Ross and Y seams.
As you do.
As you do.
Penny says she missed the beginning. What are you making? Pretty fabric.
Oh, thanks. Well,
Janice is watching.
oh, hi
Before you
Janice. Because I got this new fabric in and it has those stripes, I thought it'd be nice to do some mitered corners with the stripy fabric. So that's why I thought I would show you guys tonight. And this is the same method you'd use if you wanted to do mitered corners on a quilt. Although, like I said, I don't tend to do mitered corners unless I've got a fabric that really needs to be mitered.
Your brother is watching.
Hello, Simon.
And Joan loves Bob Ross.
Yeah, I love Bob Ross. There we go, and his critters. So there we are. And then I'll probably do some more with some blue around them as well. And then those will be my blocks. I had another one. Oh yeah, I left it. Where did I leave that one? Oh, there's the other one. Alright, I can put some white sashing in between or some plain sashing in between. But yeah, that's basically a very simple way of doing a block. And if you have, actually, you can just do triangles. So you could actually just make a block with triangles. Yeah. So it would be, you could do mitered, where is it? Yeah, anyway, you know what I mean. I can't think right now.
A bridge too far there, is it?
Bridge too far. Right, so that's going to be, those are going to be going with my other blue one. So those are the mitered corners for that. And then I thought I'd show you the attic window is exactly the same.
And
Hello,
the first
Link.
siding, a link.
Hello, Link. Hello.
Joanne says that's so cute, thank you.
Oh, thanks.
And Link's taking over now.
Repressed. I'll get my. So what I've done here, put our rooster away. So for this fabric, this is the one, like I said, that the pattern runs from selvage to selvage, a bit like a window, so it's almost like a border fabric. So the flowers are more dense on one side than on the other. And all I've done is, this is 1 meter of fabric, and I have cut them into 25 centimeter long strips, selvage to selvage, and then I have cut those strips down to 27 centimeters. Yeah.
Paula says, lovely cat.
Oh.
Not at 3:30 in the morning. He's not.
Yeah, he woke us up a little bit early this morning. It was a bit of a...
Your Sarah is watching.
Oh, hi Sarah. Yeah, somebody said he was hungry.
And Sandy says she loves Link.
Yeah, he's a good boy. Yes, he's a good boy. Yes. Yeah. That's how I've cut it up. exactly like I've done other panels. There's another attic windows panel. I've cut it up exactly the same way, basically, except I've used a metre instead of 3/4 of a metre. And then what I thought I would do for the colours on this one, I've got white along the bottom and this wheat, Painter's Palette wheat, to go along the side. And this is my Y seam, which I will show you. And then when I get further along...
That's cocky. Oh,
it's called wheat.
Oh, right, very well.
Don't confuse yourself.
Fair.
It's called wheat. And then I will use some sashing of this vanilla, washed wood vanilla, for my window sashing in between. So that's why I went with the wheat. So it kind of went with that. But for this, it's exactly the same method as we've done here, except we only do one mitered corner per block, which is a bit of a godsend. Now, for the strips here, I have got...
Sarah says, sorry, late to the party.
Oh,
not been too great. Billy says hi.
Oh, hello, Billy. Hi, Billy. Say hello to baby. Oh, I should remember what her baby's name is. I can't. Sarah, you'll have to remind me, because I can't remember. I know it was a really pretty name. Lily. It's Lily. Yeah, say hello to Lily as well. Yes. So again, with strips, you want it to be the length of your square or whatever, plus one width of your strip. So these I've cut at 2 inches wide, plus I think I've added 1 centimetre to each end as well. So this one is 31 centimetres long, and this one's 33 centimetres long. And I've done them in centimetres because it works out much more cleanly than doing inches and eighths of an inch.
I find I find that unbelievable, really.
I know. Well,
that's actually heresy.
I like, when I do attic windows, I like using centimetres because it makes more sense to me.
Well,
it works out cleaner.
Let's say no more.
Yeah. Right. So that's those. I've labelled them all number-wise so that when I put them back together I know which ones goes where, but it doesn't matter for this thing. So what I want to do, because this is where my mitered corner is going to go, I'm going to mark my dot on the back of this corner. So you need to keep track of that, make sure you mark the correct corner. Pencil. So my 1/4 inch. Like that. So it doesn't matter which one you put on first. These ones, because you don't have to center them really, you can just actually line up the end of the strip with the end of your square.
Sarah says, great remembering. She says hi too. Laugh out loud. Love the fabric.
Now I'm going to sew it from this side because I want to be able to see my dot. Oh, changed my foot.
Christine says she's with me these foreign ways. Laughing emoji.
So I'm just going to sew.
It's just not cricket.
Okay, if you say so. Made more sense to me growing up.
The French don't play cricket.
It's boules. Actually, they don't even have an equivalent.
Well, there you go. Annette S., do you have that little ruler in your shop?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's right.
Got him? Yeah. The little 8 inches by 1/2 inch. I think they're £2. Yeah, very handy. Very handy. Yeah, they should be under rulers, in haberdashery under rulers. that's that side. Again, if I clean this up so you guys can see. The goal is you want to leave that corner free from any stitching, so you can see I haven't gone all the way across.
Sandy says she loves her inches.
Oh.
And Joanne confirms it's £2 and she's put the link on the...
Oh, thank you. Bless you. Now this one I can just do like that and then go from that corner.
Joan says centimeters, but a 1/4 inch seam.
Yes, always a 1/4 inch seam. The only reason I'm measuring these squares in centimeters is because the width of the fabric is 110 centimeters long, and that converts easier into 4s than if I was to do the 42 inches or whatever it is. It just, my mind works better with centimeters for that particular task.
Debbie is watching. And Penny says she's generally okay flipping between metric and imperial, but when it comes to 16ths and 32nds, give me a millimeter any day.
Yes, yes, I completely agree.
I shake my head.
He doesn't get it.
Shake of the head and a wag of the finger.
There we go. There, so that's the stitching. That's how you kind of want it to be. So they sort of stitching kisses each other. Basically, they just sort of touch. And then you've got a tiny gap in the middle, just enough. So we're going to do that same thing, even though it's a rectangle. And do our folding it in half. You go over here so you can see. Move my bits out of the way again. Get everything lined up. Like that. 45-degree angle. There we are. I won't go all the way so I can show you. That's the stitching line that you're going to want to use. Just going to pin these together so they don't shift. There we go. So that's going to be my stitching line. Out. There we are. Just like that. Trim this off. And I'll just press that out the same way I did the other.
Jeanette says she still prefers inches. Bravo.
Move all my bits out of the way. Hold on, I'm going to be sewing this weekend. Let's see.
Amanda is watching.
Oh, hi, Amanda.
Sally Ann is watching.
Oh, hi, Sally Ann. Sally Ann's been putting some really lovely patterns up these last couple of weeks. And then this one. I do that wrong? I did it wrong again, didn't I? What?
That's Angela says going metric inch by inch. Well done.
Did it the wrong way. It needs to go this way. And then this bit opens up. And voila. And there we go.
Joanne says this is really helpful as I have the gold trees attic window from you on my to-do list.
Oh, lovely. Yes, that'd be nice. Is it the gold trees? Is it the walk on the path, or the more recent gold trees? Because I haven't done one with the more recent gold trees yet. But I've also got I do have a video, like the last sewing quarter thing that I did, demonstration. I did show it, but I did it a little bit differently. So instead of using rectangle strips, I actually cut the diagonal on the strip. So you actually have a diagonal to sew together. That has a little bit less waste, because you do, I mean, obviously you do have to trim these. So you can try it both ways. Yeah, but that's all I see basically. And if you have never done it before, practice on a small bit first, so on a narrow border, and then you can progress to getting bigger borders unmitered.
Joanne says she has the video, but this looks easier.
Oh, yeah, yeah. This is just a different way, another different way of doing it, basically. But yeah. So yeah, yeah, I'm going to be doing that attic window. That's going to be an interesting one. What time is it? Oh, it's kind of almost done. So yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed that. If you've got any questions, don't hesitate to message me, or yeah, send me any requests for things you'd like me to demonstrate. I haven't forgotten about the stencils. I still will do that at some point as well, because we asked about that.
Carol has a question.
Yes.
What about carpet? The width is in feet, the area is in yards, and the price is by the square meter.
Yeah, don't ask.
And Joanne says, Monty looked comfy on your hand quilting.
Oh yes, Monty was on my hand quilting earlier in the week. Actually, they've both laid on it at some point. So.
Well, they have a job to do.
I know. Get cat hair all over everything. Yeah. My sewing room is so off limits. They don't go in there. That's the one place. Everything else is big.
They would get lost if they got in there. We'd have to send David Attenborough after them.
For the machete. Oh well. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us. Have a great weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye.
Night all.